Liberty, you're going to think this is a team that plays a lot like Virginia. Comfortable late into the shot clock, but very efficient. And as you said, surgical on offense. North Alabama wants to go fast.
Well, very efficient in the fact that not only will they not make many mistakes, they shoot the ball extremely well. They led this league, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, free throw percentage. They take good quality shots, and they play for each other.
And an early three-point attempt results in a foul for the ASun Player of the Year, Darius McGee. The junior averaged better than 15 a game. 5'8". He is lightning in a shot glass, and he's got a 48-inch vertical jump.
Explosive, quick, shoots it deep. In the first two matchups with these two ball clubs, it was McGee that had 29 in the first day, 24 the second day when they played back-to-back.
Chris Parker, 10 of 17 from the field in the ASun tournament. And then the bigs, Rode and Preston, have played well in this tournament as well. You look at the starting five for North Alabama. Their bigs make them go. Mervyn James is 6'7", a lot of versatility. Emmanuel Little's the top rebounder in the ASun, another 6'7" junior as we get a foul.
They're a team that will spread it out. Now, in the semifinal game, they played against a lot of zone defense. And it was really Mervyn James, who is a handle and a tough guy to take care of, 6'7", 215. On that first play, you just saw Blackman attack the rim. If they can keep this Liberty team spread out defensively, their offenses, they want to attack. Their athletes, they want to go to the rim, see if they can finish.
Jamari Blackman at the line, the junior out of Hoover, Alabama. One of the originals, as Tony Pujol told us. His first year with the program was North Alabama's first season in Division I. A Lions team that had a lot of success as a Division II program. 5 Final Fours, a couple of championships. This year they started 6-1 in conference play, then lost 7 in a row, but they've rebounded since then and have won 3 straight. Liberty riding in on an 11-game win streak. And here is Parker, a D2 transfer from Henderson State in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
Yeah, Parker came right in as a transfer and took the place. Obviously, Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz is gone after graduating last year, and Parker stepped right in. Sacrifices his own game for the betterment of the squad, much like all of these Liberties players do. The Lions man-to-man defensively. You must get to McGee in a hurry because he can catch and shoot in an instant.
Almost 70% of his shots are threes, and he's got 6 early.
Anish, if you go under a screen when he comes over the top, he just steps back and shoots it. He's got kind of a set shot, shoots it on the way up for his jumper so that he doesn't have to reach the peak, so you can't time it to block it.
James misfires. North Alabama still without a field goal. And Kyle Rode all the way in. A fast start for Liberty. It's 10-1. And an early timeout by Tony Pujol. The Flames coming out of the gate strong.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Anish Rob, John Sunvolt, ASun Championship just underway. Liberty is going to the NCAA tournament, win or lose. North Alabama ineligible for the NCAA tournament this year. And Tony Pujol, the Lions head coach, that's North Alabama, was telling us the danger with playing Liberty. If you sleep, they can go on a 10-0 run. Well, out of the gates, a 10-1 run for the Flames.
Yeah, what a start for the Flames. And you would think maybe they won't come out sharp. They may maybe have a step slow just kind of because they're already in the tournament. No such thing. They're perfect 3 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from three-point line, 3 of 3 from the free throw line.
Blackman, the first field goal for North Alabama. He had 16 in the semifinal win against Florida Gulf Coast.
Keep an eye on 22 Kyle Road. He's such a good team player. Can catch, can shoot. We've already seen him off the bounce. Takes it to the rim. All 5 of the players for Liberty on the floor can handle it. They're great screen setters. They're pick and pop guys, but they can also take you off the dribble.
Shot clock at 4 after the block shot, and Preston turns it over. $14 in purple. Peyton Youngblood coming off a career game, misfires. 26 points, 5 threes in the semis.
Yeah, maybe a 4 shot there, but when you shot the ball as well as he did Friday night, most of that, again, was against a matchup zone defense, and he got open looks. And right now, the Flames, their ball movement is so good, and the spacing between the defenders and the offensive players better shrink in a hurry, or North Alabama will continue to be in trouble.
Rode and McGee have 11 of the 13. Down low, it's Mervyn James, and he's called for an offensive foul. Following our game today, it's the regular season finale in the Big 12. Number 18, Texas Tech. Number 3, Baylor, 4 p.m. on ESPN. Baylor won the first meeting in Lubbock. 13-3, Liberty on top. 3rd season in the ASun, and seeking a 3rd tournament championship. Last year, Liberty had a team that a lot of folks felt might have even reached the 2nd weekend of the NCAA tournament. It was a talented squad. In 2019, they beat Mississippi State in the first round. This is a different team. A lot of the mainstays, Scotty James, Caleb Holmesley, they're gone.
But a team that, again, Rich McKay schedules teams, right? They played Purdue early in the season. They lost that game, but then they beat Mississippi State, South Carolina, lost a close one to Big 12 opponent TCU, lost a close game at Missouri, another SEC opponent. So not afraid, this program, of what Rich McKay has built. Every year they line up and they play well. And when we asked Richie McKay what he thought coming into this season about how good McGee could be and where it could lead him, he said he wasn't afraid of what McGee was going to do this season. He thought he was going to have a great year, be a great player, and he's been right.
The freshman from Chicago, D'Italian Brown. It comes back to Blackman, and the rebound on a bounce to Parker. Parker to the 10. Rebounded by Little. It's the top rebounder in the ASun. Youngblood, catch and shoot 3. It's good.
This is the game that Tony Pujols, the coach, wants the Lions to play. Get a stop on one end, push, see if they can find open looks before the Flames can get back and get set defensively.
According to Ken Palm, Liberty plays the slowest tempo in the ASun. North Alabama, the 2nd fastest, and they have the shortest average possession length. There's Preston working on the inside to the left hand, way off.
Solid defense by Littles, number 21 in purple. He is extremely good defensively, good rebounder, and now North Alabama shooting it themselves.
How about D'Italian Brown, the talented freshman on the All-ASun freshman team. Little James Harden step back.
Yeah, Coach Pujols said yesterday, hey, the kid's got a short memory. He's mature beyond years. He's the shooter. Got short memory.
Liberty comfortable playing late into the shot clock. Here comes Parker against Blackman. Contested jumper. And Chris Parker the bounce.
Solid defense. What you can do as a Lion defender is just stay in front of guys. Parker got a fortunate bounce, shooter's bounce, but a soft touch.
Mervyn James, tornadoes inside, lost it, gets it back. Corner 3 for Brown. Parker can't corral the carom. And another chance for North Alabama. But James steps into one.
And they do move the ball quickly. The ball does not sit very much in the hands of this North Alabama team. Now they have to go back. The tough part of playing this Liberty squad is it may seem like a slow pace, but when you play them, they move so quickly on the offensive end that they don't just lull you to sleep. They're moving so quickly, they're hard to defend.
15-9, media timeout. Tony Pujol gave his team a little pep talk before the game. We'll take you inside the locker room when we come back.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Bring only the things that are going to serve you. What are they? Your connection, your love for one another, your passion for this game. Bring that. Bring that. And watch, like Peyton said, how special things happen. Let's go play for a championship.
Tony Pujol, the head coach at North Alabama, told us that what you saw on Friday when his team dropped 96 on Florida Gulf Coast was a team that wanted to play on Sunday. And he's got a fascinating backstory. Cuban-American, grew up in Little Havana, telling us in the early 90s, he, Frank Martin, the current head coach at South Carolina, and Anthony Grant, the current head coach at Dayton, who also coached at VCU in Alabama, were all high school coaches in a 10-mile radius, all three very close. Pujol, in fact, was on Grant's staff at both Alabama and VCU, and he and Frank Martin are as close as brothers. Elijah Cuffey, the three. That's the ASun Defensive Player of the Year, but he can knock down the outside shot.
Again, it's ball movement, body movement. They keep you on the edge. And again, I'll just say it again. You think it's going to be a slow pace. It is not a slow pace. They play so hard on the offensive end, this Liberty team. They cut, they pass, they move. I think it's tough for defensive teams to stay with them.
Active hands by Rode. Youngblood to inbound, 6 to shoot. Isaac Chapman back to Youngblood, a deep three, air ball.
So far, Liberty has done a terrific job at not letting number 5 Mervyn James have the ball, and the only time that Littles caught the ball inside, they double-teamed him quickly. Those are the two guys that really have to have big nights for the Lions.
Drake Dobbs, the freshman out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. He had a big game in the quarters, a career-high 11 points against Kennesaw State.
Yeah, strong kid, tough, physically built, 6'3", 185 pounds. Has had a terrific freshman season, learning the system, so to speak, for Liberty. Very valuable, and Richie McKay not afraid to put him in any time of the ball game.
The Flames 7 of 10 from the field. Rode kicks it out to Elijah Cuffey, winningest player in school history. The runner doesn't go for Shiloh Robinson. Young blood against Robinson. Wants help. Brown. Couple of threes, the freshman.
Yeah, you must get to Brown early. Now, he's great off the bounce, but he can flat out shoot it. Hit 3 threes in the win on Friday night, but you better get to him early.
He's got 6 to lead the Lions.
But look how open the lane area is when they run offense. Open areas to cut, to make passes. Nobody stands in there and gets in the way.
McDowell beat the shot clock, but a shot clock violation.
Liberty Flames on a roll early. Again, you better get to these guys quickly. McGee will make you pay.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by SoFi. Get your money right. And in part by Norwegian Cruise Line. Sail safe, sail free. The ASun has had some moments in the NCAA tournament. Florida Gulf Coast, of course, reaching the Sweet 16 as a 13 seed. And 2 years ago, it was Liberty knocking off Mississippi State in round 1. According to Joe Lunardi, if Liberty wins, they're looking at a 13 seed. No upward movement as of now. With the loss, we told you earlier, Liberty would still be in because North Alabama is not eligible for the NCAA tournament. And with a loss, Liberty would drop a seed line. But as we talked about, John Sundvold, earlier in this broadcast, I don't think there's a high major or a team that will end up being a single-digit seed that wants to play Liberty in round 1.
What you're telling me to Lunardi is the 4 seeds are saying drop them down to 14, and the 3 seeds are no, keep them at 13 or move them somewhere differently.
Now, they beat Mississippi State in that 12-5 game, which always seems ripe for upsets. Here is McGee. He's 5'8". You wouldn't know it the way he plays. Fearless at the rim, and we get a foul.
Yeah, McGee has no fear of attacking off the bounce and off the dribble. On this drive, they might have called goaltending for slapping the backboard.
Yeah, that was the call, a goaltend. So Shiloh Robinson gets credit for the layup.
No concern about Liberty starting slowly this afternoon. They are 58% from the field, and they are 3 of 5 beyond the three-point line. What a start.
Free throws coming for James Anderson. Well, that's what we've seen in this tournament and throughout the season. You go to the quarters. Liberty was tied with Kennesaw State at halftime, and then a 16-4 run to open the second half. The Stetson game was close most of the way, and then Liberty used a 17-3 run late to put that one away. Tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, Champ Week rolls on over on ESPN2. UCLA and Stanford. It's the women's Pac-12 championship. They split the 2 regular season meetings.
Maybe neutral site will be great for that game, UCLA-Stanford women's game, because they both won on each other's home court. So decide it somewhere else.
Little full court pressure now by North Alabama.
A tough team to press only because of the ball handlers and the speed that and the quickness that Liberty has. Hard to turn them over.
Elijah Cuffey to McGee, the up and under.
Well, what a great backdoor cut, but maybe even a better pass. The movement, once the cut, they plant that outside foot, and they just sprint. Pass has to be right on the money. Good finish that time by Anderson.
McDowell.
Denise, when you watch, you don't get the feeling they played a slow pace, right? Because everybody says, well, the tempo. No, they come at you.
So many times we misconstrue a slow pace for a bad offense. And I think that's somewhat of a false national perception of a team like Virginia.
Yeah, correct.
They're not going to score as many points because they won't play as many possessions. But in the possessions that they do play, they're awfully good.
Yeah, they slow you down by their defense is so good. And then offensively, they space you out and they attack in different ways. And as you said, they're not worried about a short shot clock. They execute when they have to. Another terrific drive and kick, ball fake, one bounce, jump shot.
That was McDowell. Isaac Chapman on the low block. Brim from the corner, that rattles in. 26-18 after a slow start. North Alabama has gone toe-to-toe here with Liberty.
Yeah, the senior Brim had a terrific night Friday night, too. 11 points, made 3 threes.
Another goaltending call on North Alabama. Darius McGee doing it early, the ASun Player of the Year. He's got 8 points to lead the Flames, who look for a 3rd straight conference title.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
On the 2 line, Baylor, big game against Texas Tech in Waco later today. That follows us. They're currently a 1 seed. I know Kevin Connors is loving this. He's got the mid-major minute segment.
How about the Big Ten? 2 1s and 2 2s. Powerful league.
Not a bad league, huh? Chris Parker. Three doesn't go. Rebounded by Mervyn James. He and Little both back on the floor for North Alabama. Littles, excuse me.
And both guys have to, they both have to be productive on the offensive end, especially James. Mervyn James is a tough matchup for anybody in a white uniform.
Why?
because of his quickness. But you know what he did? He turns his back. Defense comes and helps, knocks it away. They go the other way. McGee with good hands in the finish on the other end. We talked to Richie McKay. He just said, you know, James is a different type of athlete. So you just saw right there when he turned his back, they're going to double team him.
Brim using the speed and draws the foul. It's on Parker.
Active defensively. Here's the spin move, and then here comes McGee from the backside. So there are two players, and we've listed them, James and Littles, that are the focal point for this Liberty Flame defense.
C.J. Brim came to North Alabama last year after 2 seasons at Pearl River Community College out of Tupelo, Mississippi, where he played for his dad in high school. And a breather for Cuffey, who Richie McKay called invaluable. A young man who has been a part of more wins than any other player in program history, making his 133rd career start. All he's done is now playing 4 consecutive conference championship games.
Yeah, defensive player of the year in this league, and the guy that can guard almost any position on the court. When I had them against Missouri early in the year, and I was talking to Coach McKay about players, and I said, give me something on Cuffey. He goes, well, he is our Marcus Smart. And I said, okay, I got it. That says enough right there. He's the tough guy. He's a physical player, keeps everybody together on both ends of the floor.
Meanwhile, John Mervyn James just picked up his 2nd foul, but he'll stay in the game. Preston, great position. Help side defense coming, though. It looked like Youngblood to prevent the basket.
Good help side defense, but all by design offensively. Again, keep your eye on how open the lane is and how many angles that are available for Liberty to cut or pass, or if a guy's in the post, they usually clear out the weak side, so there's very little help.
McGee with 5 to shoot. Long range 3. And here comes Mervyn James. James splits the defense and cans it. His first basket, his first points.
His athletic ability, a mistake by Drake Dobbs, because if you know a guy's got 2 fouls, step in there, take the charge. James is a little bit out of control. Might have picked up his 3rd, but good move by James.
He's the Lions' leading scorer at 14 a game. Preston, great position, using the basket as a shield.
Gosh, how about the footwork? 11 times double figures this season, averages just under 9 a game. Preston good on the low block.
And an offensive foul on Youngblood, his 2nd.
Here's what Richie McKay talked to us about, is the fact that Mervyn James has the ability to kind of take over a game if you let him. And on the other end, it looks like the focal point of Liberty is when Preston has the low block, let's pound it in there and see if he can put a little pressure on Emmanuel Littles.
Preston made a number of big plays down the stretch in the semifinal win against Stetson. Dobbs, 3 is not there. The follow by Preston is off. Pack line defense from Liberty. How do you attack it?
Well, either off the bounce, like they're trying to do with enough spread, because you've got to have guys that can, the ability to get in between the gaps. Now, a pack line is not going to let you get in the gaps. So if you can get it and kick it, now your shooters have to be ready. Again, Richie McKay talked to us yesterday, and the concern is when you have athletes like James that can take it off the bounce and get to the lane, and because he's 6'7", he can go up over the top for mid-range jump shots. It's a lot of ways you can defeat a good defense.
Mervyn James looks like he's lobbying. He said, hey, 2 fouls. I think I can handle it.
I'll stay away, please. Just give me the ball. I promise, Coach, I won't guard anybody on the other end. Right? I'll just stay out of the way.
Now that's one. If he does pick up the 3rd, that's a long walk back to the bench.
Yeah. You know, this situation, Denise, you're playing for a championship. I think you stay on the floor. Trust your players, I think, at this time of the year.
Liberty opened the game on a 10-1 run. And it's been pretty even since then. McGee getting the high screen over to Cuffey. And the rebound snagged by the Lions. It's Brim. Liberty's so good getting back quickly.
Yeah, Liberty's missed its last 4 threes. They started hot, but they've missed. That gives North Alabama team a chance to get back into this game.
We're seeing a staple of the pack line when the ball goes inside. Liberty will double with 2 bigs.
Yeah, they have bothered James to where that was a forced shot. 2 guys, 3 guys around him. He's got to find some teammates, kick it, get some open looks.
McGee kicks it back out. The long 3 doesn't go. Little's on the baseline drive, and he stepped out. Mervyn James only 2 points. Little's without a point. Those 2 have been so instrumental in North Alabama getting to this point in this tourney.
Yeah, they're hanging in defensively. As I mentioned, Liberty, they've now missed their last 5 threes. But you can't leave guys wide open.
Yeah, especially a 40% three-point shooter.
Yep.
How about Blackman over Cuffey, the ASun Defensive Player of the Year?
You know, Blackman has played well this afternoon, but he's a confident player now in his junior season. He was on the all-freshman team a couple years ago.
His calling card, too, is defense. McGee. The sapling trying to traffic through the sequoias. Little's without a shot attempt, tied up, and he traveled. The Flames lead by 8, 2:57 to go in the first half.
In conference tournaments, history always takes center stage. But this year, history shares the stage with something greater. Justice. United, we ball.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
On its semifinal game, North Alabama is in its 3rd year of a 4-year transition from Division II to Division I, and that makes them ineligible for the NCAA tournament. Now, the ASun has put forth a proposal that would shorten the transition period and essentially make North Alabama eligible for the postseason and the NCAA tournament next year should the Lions win the ASun. But for this year, North Alabama ineligible. So Liberty, as the 1 seed in this tournament, would get the AQ. And again, Liberty actually had a couple of ways to win this tournament without actually winning this tournament and getting the AQ. Bellarmine, who was the 2 seed, was in the same predicament. They were a first-year D1 program, so had Bellarmine or North Alabama won this tournament, Liberty would have gotten the AQ as the 1 seed.
And I think a good proposal. We got that this morning from John Roberts, Senior Associate Commissioner of the ASun, and they're proposing make it a 2-year instead of a 4-year. And I agree with that because think about it. If you're an athlete that comes into a school and you go from you're a freshman from a D2 to D1, you never have a chance to play in a national championship. And so if you make it 2 years, for the most part, athletes are going to be there unless, they're older players. But I think that would help a bunch, some of these leagues that are getting new teams over the years.
13 for McGee, and to your point, it makes recruiting a little easier where you can tell a kid at the end of your journey you will have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, good point.
Marvin James, the smooth fadeaway.
So that instance right there, James has the ball. Nobody comes close as a teammate to set a screen. And the reason is then you can't bring a defender along. You can't get double teamed. It was just James one-on-one. I think the defender that time was McDowell.
Blackman pushing in. Look how quickly Liberty gets back. They do not give up a ton of points in transition. Brim over McGee. Tapped up, James the rebound. The follow, not there. And Rode wins the battle down low.
Well, he won't miss many of those. You saw the athletic ability to get the rebound over 2 Flame players. I tell you, it's so hard, Anish, to stop McGee. I mean, he's out there with 13 points. He's got active hands. He's got active feet. If you get by him, you think you've got him, but he's got a 48-inch vertical. So never mind that one. Don't come in there. I'm not sure he talks any trash like others would. Best thing, we talked to the coaches yesterday, and Richie McKay, I said, what do you like about him? He said, his humility.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Liberty with a 9-point lead. We were talking about, Darius McGee. 13 points, 4 rebounds, and at 5'8", he's got a blocked shot in this first half. That was clean on C.J. Brim. Now, Brim's on 5'9", but he's got a 48-inch vertical. This is what it looks like.
Wow. That's something. Just watching their offense, you kind of try to figure out how do you defend McGee, right? I mean, how do you defend the way they run things out top? He can go under screen over it. I mean, chases you. He'll if you chase him over, he's going to bomb away a 3. If you stay on him, his explosion to the rim goes over the top of even big players.
Kyle Rhodes 3, the 6th in the first half for Liberty. And Rode commits the foul. Liberty had a couple of fouls to give. It's his first. The Flames swept the regular season series from North Alabama. Identical 74-54 scores, and in both games, Liberty was lights out shooting the ball. 47% from the field, 28 of 57 from 3. 28 threes in the 2 games, and that's good for 49%.
And on the other side of that, Anish, is the fact North Alabama shot 37% against Liberty, and right now they're 37% in this first half. They're going to have one of those halves the second half like they played the entire game on Friday against Florida Gulf Coast.
Isaiah Warfield came in, had one job, and that was to commit the foul. Mission accomplished. That was the last foul that Liberty had to give. Brim darting through the defense, the bucket +1.
Boy, quickness out front defensively. You've got to try and stay in front of the basketball. But Brim is so good, high screen and roll, and when he turns the corner, everybody's late coming to the party. And he has been tough to defend this afternoon.
Brim's got 7, looking for 8, and trying to shrink this deficit to single digits before halftime.
Four and a half seconds is a lot of time when we got speed like McGee. He's going to push it. Watch for shooters in the corner. I don't know if he'll need any high screen anywhere, but he could run off someone around the half-court line.
You're a Missouri guy, so I wasn't even going to bring up Tyus Edney.
Okay, so then don't.
Here comes McGee. He'll launch. And he almost hit it off the back rim. 41-31, Liberty on top at the half. He's got 13. McGee, the ASun Player of the Year. The Flames a half away from winning the ASun. Getting here, they need to play better in the second half. For Liberty, they shot 46% from the field, 6 of 16 from 3 in that first half. And Darius McGee, who's got the ball, the ASun Player of the Year, as advertised, with a game-high 13.
At North Alabama, the guys that really took over for them was Blackman, the Bees, right? The Bees, Brown, Brim, and Blackman, they all scored the ball well. If they can continue to do that, they've got to find ways, though, defensively to keep frustrating Liberty.
A foul on C.J. Brim. Travelocity Game Track. It's time to look at our Game Track. And it's brought to you by Travelocity. Points in the paint. Advantage Liberty. We told you about McGee. And James Littles have to get going for the Lions.
McGee's so good on his stop and go. Explosion stop, move the defender.
Parker's three doesn't go. Youngblood, who picked up 2 fouls in the first half, with the rebound. Peyton Youngblood all the way Atlantic to Pacific. And it's an 8-point lead now for Lee.
And only Youngblood's second bucket of the afternoon. And you said he had the 2 fouls. He sat on the bench quite a bit. See if he can get his game going. They're within striking distance.
4-0 student, chemical engineering major. There's Rode. He had 8 in the first half. And Kyle Rode, who was the biggest recruit to ever sign with Liberty, now in double figures.
How good is he with the basketball? You think of a size that he may not do those things off the bounce, but he can.
Youngblood at the other end.
Looks to be a bit more aggressive already in this second half. Looked like he did the second half on Friday night when he shot lights out.
Green light for McGee. It's always on. James the rebound. Stop the elbow. And there's Darius McGee now with 5 rebounds and a block shot too at 5'8".
Still the pace that Tony Pujol wants to play for North Alabama. They want to push it, maybe get some early looks in their offense. I think that time down, I think James should have found Youngblood. Youngblood's hit 2 in a row. You've got to try to figure out which of your teammates are going well and find them again.
Preston banging against Littles and draws the foul. The foul is on Youngblood, and that's 3 early in this second half. Following our game, it's the regular season finale in the Big 12. Number 18, Texas Tech, and number 3, Baylor. The Bears already won the Big 12 regular season title. Baylor won the first meeting in Lubbock, and Scott Drew had a team last year that looked capable of winning the whole thing. Very little has changed from the 2020 season to the 2021 season.
Well, it's an outstanding team, the Baylor Bears, with their guards. You got Teague and Butler. But also, you think of Texas Tech. Hey, Chris Beard and Red Raider Nation, he'd like to get his fireside chat. If you've never seen that, Google that, and you'll see some of the best interviews in college basketball.
Taking a page from the FDR playbook. Three-pointer by Jamari Blackman has cut the deficit to 7.
Liberty has been in a lot of big games, but you want to see how they react if this game gets really close.
McGee and the tap in. It looked like Preston. Now they'll give it to Cuffey.
And you notice when McGee drives, he draws so much attention. 1, 2, 3 defenders. There's going to be some open looks for offensive rebounds.
Diva. Here's Mervyn James from the outside. He's got 6.
Heating up. That's what we want to see, back and forth. Tony Pujols playing and screaming at his guys to get a stop, containment, rebound. One shot, one rebound, go the other direction.
Youngblood was all over Cuffey. Now Littles defending Preston. And a foul on the floor. First foul on Littles.
And Preston relentless when he's in the paint one-on-one if you don't double him. Continues his bounce, makes the guy behind him just one-on-one defensively to see if they can contain. And since he was not stopped, he continued to his left shoulder across the lane. He loves his drop step, but Littles didn't get in the way, and he just continued to put pressure on him.
Substitutions for both teams. Preston a 65% free throw shooter, 65% from the field as well, where he posted the top mark in the ASun. And we've seen North Alabama, John, now hang around in this 7 to 9 point deficit range. They haven't really been able to get much closer, though.
Yeah, exactly. And when they've gotten within this range, all of a sudden Liberty has answers like they do right there from McDowell from the corner.
His second to three. He's got 8 off the bench.
And what's that, Anish, what's that say about a team? It's their veteran squad. They've been through a lot of wars, and they've won a lot of big games like they did Sunday to win the league championship.
James hits the 3. The lead is 9. Liberty, this is their 4th straight conference championship game, up by 9.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Let's check out today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
Good hands is what this Liberty team's all about, and the best of the hands in this league and around the country. Darius McGee, whether he's shooting, whether he's cutting, whether he's defending. And this kid is terrific to watch, fun to watch, and he is having an enjoyment again this afternoon. Plays with such a great feel for the game, a good entertainer. And as we put on earlier on the screen, his head coach said, I'd buy a ticket to watch him play if I wasn't coaching him.
Don't you get the sense if Liberty can do some damage in the NCAA tournament, McGee's got a chance to be one of those mid-major guys who can live forever, in a sense.
Yeah, good point. He does so many things. And, you know, opponents are going to look at him at 5'8", 5'9", and say, well, we can contain him. It's his quickness and his speed, obviously his ability to jump up at 48 inches, but it's really not that. His stop and go, he keeps defenses off balance. And I think his teammates play so well off him and without him because he can space it out, that there's openings for guys who are very skilled. And if any of these players were on other teams, they probably would be first or second team all conference.
Keegan McDowell, 10 points off the bench for Liberty. Little's his first shot attempt, and it goes.
Man, what a tough
14:36 mark of the second half.
That is a tough finish. He was well defended by Preston inside, but Little's got it to go. See if that picks up his confidence.
Parker beats his man.
Needed a guy to take over the leadership for this season. And when Chris Parker transferred in, he has been fabulous. It looked like he's been there 3 or 4 years.
Youngblood back out there with the 3 fouls. 14 in purple.
Look how far off they pushed Kittles off the block, or Little's off the block.
He's been uncomfortable all afternoon. Parker off the feet from McGee. Youngblood, the running hook. It doesn't go. McGee taps it to his teammate Shiloh Robinson.
Anish, at times this North Alabama squad looks at the degree of difficulty that they are getting on their offensive shot attempts versus what Liberty's getting. What the Flames do very well is they set off-screen picks for each other to free each other up. Good ball fake.
McDowell from the baseline.
Amazing they missed it because he shot the ball so well.
And we'll get a foul on Parker. 12:56 to go. Second half. Liberty up 11.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by SoFi. Get your money right. Sidney Eugene Bream, one of the famous alums for Liberty. You've got Seth Curry, averaging 12.5 this season. 1992 Game 7 National League Championship Series, Braves and Pirates. Francisco Cabrera, a pinch hit single to left. Barry Bonds throw home. Not in time. Sid Bream, one of the slowest players in the league, with one of the most famous slides in the history of baseball.
And wasn't the line, why is Bonds playing so deep before the pitch?
Right. It was Bonds was playing a little deep, and the home plate umpire, I believe it was Randy Marsh, really squeezed Stan Belinda in that ninth inning. Yeah, Damon Berryhill struck out at least once or twice. Pirates then fell off the map for almost 2 decades. Braves were just getting started.
Dominating franchise.
Yeah. Parker.
You know, Parker had a big on him. He had littles on him. And probably didn't work him hard enough. He did get a good look, but you could work a big harder if you're a guard. Big guy comes out, make him move his feet a couple times, make him dance a little bit. Parker did it once, missed the jump shot.
Foul on Shiloh Robinson. And James Anderson, the 3. He's got 6. Liberty within 8, and now full court pressure. A turnover. Anderson passed down the 3.
Wow, same spot. Maybe didn't have control of the basketball. Rarely does a shooter not take the same shot he just hit.
And now all of a sudden you've got to attack this pack line with the shot clock running down. Tipped by Cuffey.
And one thing you'll notice about the backcourt, they're so quick defensively, Liberty, it's hard to beat them off the dribble.
Elijah Cuffey, the ASun Defensive Player of the Year.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Liberty will get the automatic qualifier in the ASun, win or lose today. North Alabama ineligible for the NCAA tournament as part of their 4-year transition from Division II to Division I. This is year 3 for the Lions. So you say, what's at stake for Liberty? Well, they already punched their ticket Friday night when North Alabama got to this game. Seeding is certainly at stake. Joe Lunardi told us before the game, if Liberty wins, right now they're looking at a 13 seed. Potentially could move up depending on how everything else shakes out. With a loss, though, Liberty would fall down to the 14 seed line. Now the press again.
And Brim having no problem again. He's done it a couple times this afternoon. Has taken it off the dribble all the way in to the rim. Now North Alabama gets it to 6. This is the closest it's been in a long time.
Since the 14-minute mark of the opening half. Preston backing down Littles. Goes to the left hand. Follows his miss. Preston puts it back.
How about 2 bigs just going at each other? And Preston staying with it. Good footwork, even probably better hands and finish. Little spin off the glass.
Youngblood against Cuffey, the ASun Defensive Player of the Year. And Peyton Youngblood will shoot two, an 83% free throw shooter.
The physicality inside, they have not double-teamed Preston the entire game, and they've put it all on Littles to stay with it. Preston is physical, strong, tough. That time, not only good, like I said, good footwork, but the finish with the spin of the basketball off the glass.
Preston had the double-double in the semis, his fourth of the season, and we've seen Youngblood today. The three-point shot hasn't been there like it was on Friday, so he's been aggressive and he's taking the ball to the basket.
Well, because he shoots so well, or shot it so well on Friday, but he's a shooter, Cuffey's got to get into his chest. And last time down, the thing that Youngblood looked at was the fact there was nobody at the rim underneath defensively. So the ball fake, and he needs to pick Cuffey off the bounce.
How does Liberty attack the press?
Well, what they usually do is get McGee in the middle of the floor. But he's just kind of going backwards. He likes to get on the other end. Then they can attack offensively. So Drake Dobbs has to handle it. Now get in offensive sets, and this is where Liberty's at its best with McGee has the ball in his hand.
A deep three, offensive rebound. Preston, the follow is there by Rode.
Boy, you do your job defensively, you've got to come up with that rebound.
Italian Brown, the freshman, hit a couple of big threes in that first half. Anderson misfires.
So, Denise, think of this. You get a stop, but you don't get the rebound. You don't even get the second rebound. Two tips, they score. You come down with a quick shot. You miss. Liberty comes back, almost knocks in another one.
Pace in the second half has favored Liberty. Brim from the outside, yes. And it's a 5-point game.
Brim has had an outstanding afternoon.
We got a scramble and a timeout called by Liberty and Richie McKay. Following our game on ESPN, it's Baylor and Texas Tech. The Bears have already wrapped up a Big 12 regular season title. It is the season finale for both teams, 4 p.m. Eastern from Waco. John, the press is working for NorthAlabama.
It has worked. It has turned it up, and they've been able to get a couple steals. Can they convert off those steals? Last time down, when they stole it earlier, they didn't convert. That time, loose ball. Good decision. I think it was Rowe that got on it quickly and got a timeout. Now, if you're a NorthAlabama fan, you're wondering how he quickly got a timeout when it didn't look like he had possession of the basketball. Richie McKay looking for maybe some fouls. This NorthAlabama team active.
It's interesting. We said it at the top, the spoiler alert. Liberty's in. Doesn't matter what happens. They're in the NCAA tournament. But if you're watching this game, you're telling me these guys aren't playing for something. There's a chance to cut down nets and to call yourself a conference champion. The intensity is ramped up. If you've been watching from the start, you can tell both teams want to be here. They want to play. Richie McKay told us it would have been easy to opt out, but the guys want to play. And when you think about everything that everybody's gone through in this last year, sports, college basketball, the game you love is such a reprieve. Youngblood lays it in, and a chance to make this a 2-point game. And to finish the thought, John, just playing basketball means more this year.
Hey, don't tell me these guys could opt out. This is unbelievable, the passion. NorthAlabama, this is their last game. They don't get to move on. And so they came into this tournament knowing what was at stake, right? They had not played well towards the end of the season. They come into this tournament. You've got to knock off a couple teams to get to the championship game. They were fabulous Friday night. They put it 96 points against Florida Gulf Coast. They get to this game. They've been down from 10-1 this entire game. It's been a 9 to 10 point stretch. Now they're within 9 minutes to go. Now just don't go crazy and make costly mistakes.
They've been Tantalus, reaching for the grapes all game. They've never led. This is as close as they've been in a long time. Cuffey will shoot 2. I like what Tony Pujols told us, that what better message than go out and win a championship when you're not eligible to win and go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, no kidding. Youngblood picks up his 4th personal foul. Cuffey's been kind of quiet on the offensive end. And in the second half, McGee's been quiet. He's 0 for 4 second half shooting. It's a challenge now for Liberty to dig deep. They've done it many times before this season, but to dig deep because all momentum is on the North Alabama side.
Elijah Cuffey is someone who's had to dig deep. He's faced his own adversity in the last year. Lost his brother Jason in the line of duty last July. Jason was a firefighter in West Virginia. Mervyn James down low. It's a 62-60 game. And again, the full court press.
Good assist by Brim, who has had a fabulous game. 12 points, now 3 assists.
James poked it loose. We get a foul. It looks like it's going to be on Liberty.
Boy, this pressure has bothered the Flames this last 6 minutes. Comfortable with the bounce, but hit his foot in the emotion, the passion of championship week.
Darius McGee back in. Now look at this Liberty scoring defense, among the best in Division I, giving up 59 a game. Well, North Alabama's got 60, and there's plenty of time left. Through the swarm, it's Isaac Chapman who ties it up at 62. First tie since it was 0-0.
The matchup, Brown guarding McGee. McGee has not hit a bucket in the second half.
A foul underneath. The pendulum is swung.
Youngblood's on the bench with 4, but it hasn't mattered. The Lions of North Alabama are back. Exciting.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
All right, Kevin, thank you. This one got close. Liberty had been up 8, 10, 12 points most of the game. The full court press by North Alabama has worked. We're now tied at 62.
You know, the Lions had 31 at halftime. They've got 31 already in the second half. Talked about their 2 losses this year. They only shot 37%, right where they were in the first half. This second half, they've been on fire, 63% from the field. They've been aggressive attacking. They're forcing turnovers. You see the 4 turnovers in the second half by Liberty. Now the Lions with a chance to take the lead.
C.J. Brim, he's got a dozen for the lead. And it comes to Darius McGee, his 7th rebound. But he is scoreless in the second half.
Yeah, and Brim has not missed many. Had an opportunity that time, couldn't get it quite in.
Good defense. James all over McGee.
And McGee will like the matchup with a bigger James, and that's what a guard wants. Once the switch came, he kicked it up top, got it back. Now it's 1-on-1 with a bigger. It can't handle the quickness of McGee. What a shot.
16 at the other end. Tied at 65. North Alabama not missing. Third three for the freshman Brown. The Lions 62% from the field in the second half. Parker. Blocked. Wow. Chapman. Brown the other way.
Watch the emotion of the North Alabama bench down low if this shot goes in.
Chapman for the lead. Road is there. That might be a moving screen. It is on Shiloh Robinson.
Well, championship games bring out the best of the best, and McGee knocks one in. And the block defensively by Chapman, all of a sudden they're back in this ball game, a three on the other end. I'll say this on the offensive foul there, of the blocking call. It's so difficult for a big when you've got someone like McGee. You're trying to set a screen for him. He goes one side, the other side, in his quickness, trying to get by. Tough for an offensive player to set that pick.
Seventh team foul on Liberty, non-shooting because it was an offensive foul. And another chance to take the lead. Blackman thought about it. He'll drive on Cuffey.
Boy, Cuffey, that's great defense. Blackman was going to have a jump shot, but as he was going up, Cuffey got around the screen and didn't allow Blackman to get the shot off. Looks like an open play right here. He's going to go up, and Cuffey jumps it, gets to it. Boy, terrific. That's why he's Defensive Player of the Year in this league.
Richie McKay told us Cuffey's one of the best defensive players he's ever coached, and that includes his time with Tony Bennett in Virginia. And we all know the defensive reputation of that program. McGee knocks it down. He's got 18.
Hit the last two. We said he was 0-4 this half. Doesn't matter. What a shot.
Little's down low. There's the double.
And that gets Little's off the block.
James answers. The two stars, the two leading scorers for both teams. James and McGee back and forth.
Keep an eye on McGee getting the basketball again. And they just reset everything.
McGee drops it off to Preston. And Preston will shoot two.
You know, smart play by Preston. He set the screen, and as McGee's attacking the rim, Preston just follows, tries to get the proper spacing so that he can receive any kind of pass that there's an angle, whether it's up high for a big man or down low. McGee put it on as a bounce pass.
Liberty a perfect 10 of 10 from the line. Tonight, it is the Pac-12 Women's Championship. UCLA and Stanford, a couple of top 10 teams. Two of the top 3 seeds in that tournament. Stanford looking for its 14th Pac-12 tournament title. 11 for 11 on free throws. A North Alabama team that was on the skids late in the season. They had lost 7 in a row, beat Lipscomb in the regular season finale, and then won 2 games to get here. James for 3, and North Alabama with a 1-point lead.
The confidence that the Lions are playing on the offensive end. Staggering. Each guy stepping up, making shot after shot.
James has heated up after a slow start. He's got 16. McGee at the other end. Reynolds in. 21 for Darius McGee.
Stop it, partner. The two best, back and forth.
You're getting some Dominique and Larry flashbacks.
Fabulous. Big shot after big shot.
Littles doesn't get it to go. Preston snags it.
You know, the comfort level for the best to step up and make the plays. That separates players at every level. Doesn't matter junior high, high school, junior college, Division I, II, no matter what. The guys that make the plays down the stretch are comfortable making it and fearless.
Baseline cut to Cuppy.
What a pass. Great cut. Easy bounce pass to Handle.
Timeout, Tony Pujol. The Stars stepping up in crunch time.
On one end, it's the star of the show, James. On the other end, it's the player of the year, McGee.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
All right, Kevin. John, this has become a mano battle.
Yeah, talk about fabulous when you put your stars on display. Mervyn James, we talked how slowly he got started. Now he's heating up, 12 points in the second half. And just when we said that Darius McGee was 0 for 4 in the second half, boom, 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 boom. Went from 13 to 21 in a hurry. Both guys showing out. The emotion high on both ends. What a fabulous ASun championship.
This game matters. It matters to cut down the nets. Even though Liberty's already in and North Alabama's ineligible for the NCAA tournament.
Cut down the nets and hang a banner. And when you walk into that gym years from now, that banner's got your name on it.
Here comes Youngblood. He's got the 4 fouls, and he makes it a 2-point game. North Alabama, in its 3rd season as a Division I program, taking the team right now in the ASun down to the wire. Liberty's won this tournament 2 years in a row. They've only been in this league 3 years, trying to go 3 for 3. For the program, 4th straight trip to a tournament final. In their final year in the Big South, Carleek Jones of Radford beat them at the buzzer, and Parker gets leveled by Littles after the offensive rebound.
And who knows, their shot is off more quickly, but a shooter, and Parker goes right after it. He knew he missed it. No block out for the shooter. He attacked it right when it left his hands.
Both teams now in the bonus. Rode had no help and calls a timeout. Liberty with 1 left.
Smart play by Rode. You always have to have that clock in your mind when you're the guy taking the ball out of bounds. No movement on that underneath out of bounds play by the Flames, and Rode quickly called timeout.
74-72. There is something at stake for Liberty, even though they have a spot secure in the big dance, and that is seeding. According to Joe Lunardi, Liberty right now a 13 seed. With a loss, though, would drop a seed line.
And that means something. Obviously, we've got a long way to go before the seedings are set. Joe Lunardi's got them in a 13 seed. That could move up, right? That could be, they could move up to a 12.
Liberty's won 11 in a row. It's been a Herculean effort led by a press that got North Alabama back into this game. The Lions have shot 62% in the second half.
You know, they used the press to get back in, then they took the press off. And now Liberty allowed to play their half-court offense has been more effective. A miss, though, by Cuffey.
A 2 to tie, a 3 to take the lead for North Alabama. We've jockeyed back and forth in the last few minutes.
And expect James to have a touch. He's had the hot hand.
Number 5 in purple. Blackman on the drive. 7 to shoot. Here's Brim against McGee. Blocked by McGee, but a foul. No, a traveling call on C.J. Brim.
And James never got a touch, Manish. Guy who's carried you. There's the shuffle of the feet. Smart play by McGee to back off. Once a guy's going to spin you, back off a step.
We see the press again.
Parker handles it easily.
Preston backing down Littles. He's won that matchup today. Out to Rode, who hits the 3!
And what did Preston do? He waited till he was finally doubled. He was going to take it one-on-one. Rhodes guy left, leaves him. Rode makes him pay.
James was calling for it. Blackman instead for 3. And it come back to Mervyn James. Brin drives on McGee. He lost it. Cuffey corrals. And
I couldn't tell, Anish, if McGee got his hand on that ball on Brim's drive.
That is 5 on Youngblood, and he is done. And he is North Alabama's best three-point shooter.
And you just saw on the replay that McGee, once beat off the dribble, did not quit playing. Reached around, knocked that ball away. Puts his team in a great chance to win this game now.
Fifth-year senior began his career at a junior college. His effort in the semifinal, a big reason North Alabama is in this game. 5 threes, 26 points. He's fouled out. It's a 5-point game, and here's where being an elite free throw shooting team comes in handy. But Cuffey misses.
Got to push, got to attack.
They get it to James. He'll launch. Back iron. Offensive rebound, Brim. Another 3. Blackman. Out of bounds. It stays with North Alabama. 15.6 seconds.
Anish, I would have liked a little more if they attack and go to the rim. Now you put yourself in more of a chance. You have to maybe shoot a 3, but 2 early 3 looks. Probably not the best of looks.
Who's the guy you want taking this shot?
Well, again, I want James to be aggressive and to get the basketball and attack.
It's Brim instead. And he hits. 15 for Brim. It's a 2-point game. 12.6 seconds to go.
Yeah. Brim has not been bashful, has been fabulous this senior. One bounce into the jump shot, the defense back, all nylon, and it's a 1-possession game. And now you go for the steal. You may have to foul early if you don't get it. They've been very effective in their press and pressure. And remember, last time at the free throw line, Cuffey missed the front end of a 1-on-1.
Liberty is an 82% free throw shooting team in conference games. Number 1 in the league. McGee, Parker, and Cuffey all better than 80% free throw shooters. The Flames, they're in the NCAA tournament. Whether they win or they lose. North Alabama ineligible for the NCAA tournament. But both coaches were adamant. This game matters. Cutting down the nets matters. As you said, John, hanging a banner matters.
Yeah, you know what? You couldn't ask for a better game. We know Liberty's the one going in. We know Liberty's the name. Everybody talks about it. We've been talking about it. But North Alabama wanted to make its mark and make its mark. They have. Now, do they have a chance? Can they get a steal? Can they get a foul and a missed free throw? They are in this ball game at one possession. Hey, put pressure on the favorite. Make those guys go to the free throw line and prove that they can win this one by making it.
Road will inbound. He can run the baseline and gets it to